Alright, you fuckers. I'm gonna throw out one more Christmas review for you here because I don't know if I'll be feel like making another Christmas review in the next 2 days. So I want to do my little Christmas in July thing. So this is one more Christmas review for you. I hope you enjoy. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies next to Mixed Nuts, and it's Trapped in Paradise. I know some of you guys have probably seen this movie. Starring Nicolas Cage and who else? Who's that other fat fuck that it's that John Lovitz, who's become kind of irrelevant, sad to say, and Dana Carvey, who also isn't really that relevant anymore. But for its time, though, back in the day when those guys were really hot, this was a good movie. This is one of those movies that kept him really well known and loved. Trapped in Paradise is yeah, it's hilarious, man. You have to see it. It's one of those really quirky movies, kind of like Mixed Nuts. I did a review of that Christmas movie if you want to check that out. But basically, it's crazy. Like these guys who rob a store end up meeting, or not a store, but a bank. End up being saved by the guy who was the owner of that bank. Their car crashes, and they end up having Christmas dinner together. So I mean, that plot alone is worth watching it because that's just downright hilarious. Um, but I love Dana Carvey in this movie. Oh my God, he is hilarious. He plays like this crazy kleptomaniac guy who's just really hilarious, really quirky. Also, Nicolas Cage does a great job. He's like the only sane brother. His two other brothers are the ones who robbed the bank, Dana Carvey and John Lovitz. John Lovitz is just, I don't know, he's just John Lovitz. He's like the same character in every movie. It's hilarious. But yeah, it's just the trouble they get into and shit. And the way they rob the bank is really hilarious too because they don't have the key. So basically, one of them stays and watches them while the other two have to go into this restaurant and get the guy because it's such a small bank and it's such a small city that they can just like go over there and get it from him. Really hilarious stuff. And again, yeah, Dana Carvey. I mean, he's my favorite part of the movie, definitely. He's a fucking hilarious guy. Um, I'm trying to think what else was there I needed to mention. Um, I mean that's pretty much it. So eventually they do confess that they were the ones that robbed the bank, and the guy, he's really cool. He doesn't press charges, but it takes them a while too, though. Nicolas Cage, yeah, I like his character because he's sort of in between the good guy and the bad guy. Like he wants to do good, but he still has some bad blood in him. Like he's like a part of some. I don't think he's in the mafia, but he's like some Italian family where I guess he's broken the law before. I think they robbed a bank before or something. Both his brothers were in jail, but they were set free, and that's when they robbed the bank. Is when they both got out of jail, and it's a great movie, and it's somewhat of a love story too. There's a girl that the guy meets up with, some girl who's part of that small town. I think she's the daughter of the bank owner. So it's kind of a little bit of a romance too, if you like that kind of stuff. But I'll admit I'm kind of a sucker for this cheesy romances. I don't know why, but if they're done right, and not overly cheese or anything like that. But this movie is not cheesy. This movie is amazing. I'd have to rate this movie a solid. Whew, I mean, I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of 10. It's just a quirky Christmas movie, but I'll give it at least a good 7 out of 10. It really is that good. And it sucks about what happened with. I just have to say really quick, it does suck what happened with Dana Carvey and John Lovitz too. The whole like old school SNL guys. Like, what happened with them? Why are they all irrelevant now? Like Mike Myers, Dana Carvey. I mean, I know Adam Sandler's still kind of in the game, and Will Ferrell's still kind of doing his thing. But if you think about it, there's a lot of people like from the late '80s, early '90s SNL. They're not really that relevant anymore. But I mean, maybe that's just because they're older now and they don't care. They're just ready to settle down. But yeah, that is worth mentioning. That's a shame. I would kill to see Dana Carvey in some good movies again. Same with Mike Myers. You know, they say that, what was it, that one movie, The Love Hero, killed Mike Myers. Uh, I saw some of it. It was okay. I also saw some of the movies that they say Dana Carvey sucked in, like, what was it, The Master of Disguise. I remember seeing some of that. I remember renting it at Blockbuster, actually. That movie kind of sucked. Yeah, I will admit it wasn't that great, but I think sometimes people are overly judgmental of shit, and I don't really know the reason why, you know, these old SNL stars aren't relevant. I think it's probably, if you want my honest opinion, guys, I think they're just sick of Hollywood. I think that there's a lot of things they don't like about it. You know, I always say this in a lot of my videos. It's Hollywood is run by sick, demented people. You know, it really is. It's a sick industry. In the words of Corey Feldman, it's run by pedophiles. It really is a sick, sad place. And you know, some of you guys who are thinking about being movie stars, I would just say be really careful, because in the words of Jim Carrey, he said, "I wish everyone could be a movie star, so that they could see that that lifestyle is simply not for them." So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This is Xbox Jared. I'll see you later. Peace.